So, for those who are unaware, which is like all two of you, I absolutely love covering everything related to Sega. It's such a fascinating company to talk about, with a rich history in video games and arcades, and there's always something new in terms of that history. However, one of these discoveries is something I never expected to happen. Take a look at this.
My name is Sonic. Dr. Robotnik is trying to capture our friends at the space station. Let's take off through space to rescue them.
Now, you might be asking yourself, Jordan, what's the big deal about this difficult to see footage? This is an English version of Sega Sonic Cosmo. Wait, I'm sorry, it apparently is not called that. It's called Waku Waku Sega Sonic Cosmo Fighter. Okay, for the purposes of this video, I'm just shortening it to Sega Sonic Cosmo Fighter. Anyway, it's a kiddie ride about Sonic fighting Eggman in space. Only released in Japan starting in 1993. At least that's what we thought, but the existence of this cabinet now calls into question that statement. Hi, I'm Jordan, and welcome to Jordan's Soapbox. Let's talk about one of the rarest and most obscure cabinets in Sega history, and how this particular one adds even more rarity and obscurity on top of it. So, Sega Sonic Cosmo Fighter is one of two kiddie rides developed by Sega, the other being Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car. Who the frig makes up these names? Where Sonic the Hedgehog is a police officer. I'll let that one speak for itself. Well, an English version of that ride exists, which, according to Sega Retro, quote, likely was used in areas, in Japan, where a large number of English-speaking tourists frequent. Sega Sonic Cosmo Fighter did not have an English version known about it until now. And that discovery comes from, Twitter. A user by the name of IamAmazing100, really flattering yourself there, aren't you? Shared videos and images of this cabinet on Sonic's 30th anniversary, which was June 23rd, that's yesterday, crap, I missed that. They stated that this cabinet originated from Sega World Sydney, a Sega-backed arcade located in Sydney. You guess where that is? I'll give you a hint. It's the one with all the scary spiders. Anyway. It deserves its own video talking about it, but what needs to be known is that it was a financial failure and closed on November 12, 2000. Subsequently, its assets were sold off in March 2001, ironically the same month Sega would announce their exit from the console business. It wasn't said specifically how they acquired this cabinet, but I think it's safe to assume it's changed hands a couple of times from that initial auction and ended up in their hands. So, this thing, to my knowledge, looks like the real deal, and not a fake. It's too elaborate to be a fake. So, why does this thing even exist if it was supposed to be a Japan exclusive? Well, I have a little bit of a theory on how that might have happened. Remember what I said earlier about Sonic Patrol Car and how it had an English version meant for tourists? I think there either was a version made for a similar audience, or maybe it was intended to be released outside of Japan, but was later cancelled. Regardless, with the advent of Sega World Sydney in the late 1990s, Sega likely wanted to have some kiddie rides for it, and used one of those either tourist cabinets or failed international ones. It wouldn't be that difficult to do either, as the outside of the machine retains its appearance from Japan. Oh gosh dang it, Alexa. Anyway, the point is that this thing looks exactly like the one in Japan, the only difference being the ROM running on the actual machine. The existence of this cabinet might lead the way to other similar English-speaking cabinets being out there somewhere, but I have no idea what locations would have had these, and it's unknown if they even exist at all. For all we know, this is the only kind of cabinet in existence. Now, here comes the most important and complicated of these questions. How do you preserve this thing? Before we start, I'm not a lawyer, and this is not to be considered legal advice. Some have suggested to dump the read-only memory file, or ROM, and release it online. In fact, it's funny, this arcade game actually was already dumped online. This is just the English version. But this ignores the legal issues that might come about from doing such a thing, which is dependent on where this user lives in the world. This also ignores the fact that if this isn't done correctly, it could damage everything and we could lose it all. Furthermore, this user has already stated their inexperience with such a thing, so to me, it's high risk, low reward. To me, a possibly safe and better option would be to somehow capture the footage directly from the unit and share that online. But even then, I don't know if that's totally safe from technical or legal issues either. Either way, this is a really tough unit to preserve, and hopefully someone out there can find a solution, because it is a fascinating discovery that others should be able to experience. It's a part of Sonic's history, and I look forward to hearing more about it in the future. It just goes to show you that there's always a little bit of Sega history out there, even if you think you've found everything. This is Jordan from Jordan's Soapbox, and I'll see you all later. Right now, I'm really craving a chili dog.